Greetings, YouTube. I thought I might do a quick weapons build today. So what I've got here is some kind of a collector's souvenir hockey stick or something. And I have this, which I believe is from some kind of a weeder or something. I'm not 100% sure what this is. It might be from an industrial, like big combine kind of thing, but I picked it up at an estate sale, I think, for like $1. And I've sharpened the tips just for fun, like a throwing star. But I thought it might be interesting if I were to turn this into a straight paddle. So cut this off, round off the end so that it was, and then mount this here to make this a fast kind of a pick thing. And I'm going to need two, do it on the other side so it's a little clearer to see that with. So I would need two fasteners. I would need one here to hold the entire thing together, and then one here so that you don't have a counter rotation. And I would probably drill the holes so that we had some opposition, so that this would sit on the front one and then that one there would keep it from rotating and lock the whole thing down. I think that might be the easiest way to do this, and the way that it's going to keep it from moving the most. So the first thing I'm going to do is take my Japanese pull saw here, which is from, who made this one? Marples made this one. The pull to cut, fast, clean, more accurate general carpentry saw, the 12-inch 14-point, and it's my favorite little saw. I don't do a lot of carpentry down here, but yeah, cut this off first, and then round this thing over. Once I get that off there, draw a radius, knock off a few corners, and then you do the rest on my belt sander, just to get this thing banged out fairly quickly. Then when that's done, scrounge hardware, which I should have enough hardware kicking around in here down in the shop, and then drill some holes, mount the thing together, and then probably going to have to cut off the bolts, which will probably be too long because this is going to need a job that needs short bolts. I don't think I have any bolts this short, but it's always easy to make bolts shorter than they are. Can't make bolts longer, but it's pretty easy to make them shorter. So that's the plan, I think, right there. Blade, paddle, and then you have a quick, dirty weapon that's going to do some very nasty harm. So first thing up, get rid of this. And here we have the final product. Like I said, it was a fast build. I actually decided to go with 3 screws as opposed to 2, because I thought that would give me more stability. And I liked the look of the points going forward. Obviously this one does nothing, but it gives you more points to do something than rather than having the 2 down here. So I like this one better. And it let me put screws on bolts on either side, and I actually lucked out. I found 3 bolts that were almost exactly the correct size, so I don't have to cut anything. And this is all scrounged materials we're looking at here. Again, I picked this up. I think I picked up 2 of these like collectors commemorative NHL hockey sticks for like, I think, $2 a piece at a thrift shop, something like that. And I bought them specifically so that I could eventually weaponize them into some degree. The other one is still in its whole extant condition, and I may put an axe blade on that way just to make a little hand axe out of that one for fun. But yeah, this one came out pretty nice. I like the way this looks, and it's got a nice heft to it. I actually cut the whole thing down. It was about that long, much longer after I got the angled section off. I guess you'd call that, would that be the paddle? I actually have no idea what the striking surface of a hockey stick is called. Blade? The blade, that's it. I cut the blade off, and it was still about that long, so I cut it down. I rounded it off just for aesthetics, because I like the look, and then drilled the holes. And then there we go. So now I'm going to take it outside and I'll get some pictures for my Instagram and my DeviantArt page. And I may look at the other one while I'm down here today in the shop and see if I have a saw blade that's the right scale for that particular paddle or hockey stick or whatever the hell you want to call it. Because I have a number of saw blades kicking around, and that one would be a pretty good fast project as well. Yeah, I like this. This came out well. I just don't know what I should call it. Do I call it an... It's not an axe. Is it a pick? Is it a mace? Because it's blade shaped, but there have been blades. Let me call it a star pick, just for fun, because it really is designed for piercing situations. Wicked dangerous, though. I went to buried in the one of my 2x4s down here, and I actually chipped part of the 2x4 off because I just hit the edge. I'm like, wow, that took that hunk of wood off real quick. So yeah, I'm gonna take a look at the other one while I'm down here today and see if I have a saw blade that's the right scale for the other hockey stick. So I'm still down in the shop, and I looked at my clock, and it was only 2 o'clock. So I thought I can make something else. So what I did is took my other little hockey stick here. This one actually had an autograph on it. Kind of felt bad. It was apparently some kind of French person, because this is a Canadian Rochester Americans. No, it's made in Canada though. But yeah, this was autographed, but it doesn't matter anymore. And I had this old bike sprocket, which I've been keeping around, and I thought that's perfect. I mean, it's got holes mounted. All I had to do is cut the paddle down, drill 2 holes, and again I lucked out on my bolts. This little jar of bolts right here has been a dream. I have found so many bolts in this in the last, well, since the pandemic started, to be useful for projects. I can't remember how much I paid for it, but it is worth its weight in gold. So this obviously is a mace, and it's a solid. I mean, it's got a nice heft to it, man. It really does have a nice heft to it. So I'm going to go and take some pictures of these as individuals, and then probably take a couple together. But yeah, nice combo. Somebody wants to do like, the old Florentine, 2-stick kind of thing. Yes, and I'm aware that Florentine is often considered to be nothing more than a type of egg preparation. But if you say Florentine to your average gamer, your average LARPer, or someone in the SCA, they know you mean 2-stick. So if you use a term, and the people who hear the term know what you mean, that's a valid term. Even if it wasn't used in historical times as a term to mean someone fighting with a weapon in either hand, which was probably historically incredibly rare and like probably never seen on the battlefield intentionally. Anybody who could afford a shield would be using a shield if they had a one-handed weapon, because a shield will save your ass. But this would be a nice combo, man. Mace in one hand and this pick in the other. That would be really nice. So outside, take some pictures while I still got some daylight, and I get this whole thing done, like both of these things done in like, I don't know, an hour and a half, and that included the time it took me to poke around my basement to find things for inspiration. So yeah, nice little afternoon project.